Welcome to Withdraw Consent. I'm Victor. This is Jack. Let's talk Maui wildfires.
Okay, so some strange stuff has been going on with these.
Okay.
Right? And one of the things is that they have the best emergency alarm system in the world
Okay.
of anybody. And so the problem is that the alarms didn't go off.
Okay.
Okay. Now forget everything I've told you about this previously because I have new information here.
Okay.
So basically they have 400 alarms, 80 in the area, and the area is Lahaina, which is a small town. I believe it's like 17,000 people, 18. But it used to be the capital before the colonialist occupation
Okay.
of America,
Yep.
So anyways, basically, what happens is the alarms don't go off, okay? And the excuse they gave at first, I'm going to do a NBC News article called Hawaii's Emergency Warning Sirens Weren't Activated to Alert Residents, agency says in the link description below. So it's NBC News, right?
Okay.
It's kind of legit. And basically, there's a guy. He's the Maui Emergency Management Agency Administrator. His name's Herman Andaya, right? And basically, he didn't start the alarms, okay?
Okay.
At first, they just said that nobody made an attempt to flip them on,
Okay.
But we did text message you, they said. But in reality, the truth is that's all 100% fact check true. But they texted you and said, warning, high wind, high speed winds, and fire potentially, like fire danger, right?
Okay.
But that's not the warning for the wildfire swooping with the hurricane winds.
It's not a run for your life text.
It's not right, and that's what we're talking about. Did they get a run for the life text? And so basically, then they asked this guy, Herman Andaya, who's in charge of pushing the button.
Okay.
And you know where it's going to go from the title of the article. This is CBS News, so it's a legitimate.
Very legitimate. Mm-hmm.
Maui official. This is the title of the article, linked below. Maui official defends his decision not to activate sirens amid wildfires. Quote, I do not, unquote, regret it.
It's amazing.
Amazing. Okay, so now here's the story, right? He says, well, let's see. The emergency alarm system is for tsunamis, not fires. So if I click this emergency alarm button, what are they going to do? They're going to think it's a tsunami and they're going to run up the mountain. The fire's going to come down the mountain. They're all going to die.
So is it just like a siren, like an air raid siren? Or is it a message that gets played on speakers? Or
I think it's just a siren.
Okay.
But they also have like emergency alerts to your phones and stuff like that. They could actually tell you stuff, but
Okay.
we don't need to do that either, right?
Right.
Who cares? You know what I mean? Over 100 people died. No big deal. So what do you think when you hear that? That the guy didn't push the button because they'd run up the mountain? The herd would run up the mountain right into the fire. What do you think?
I think people are a little smarter than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, especially if your life is on the line. I either think the dude's stupid or he's been told to say this. One or the other.
Yeah. You got to think, if the fire's coming down the mountain and it's being pushed by the wind, then the wind is coming down the mountain, which means you smell smoke. So you go outside and say, oh, there's probably a hurricane that way. Let's run. Oh, my goodness. There's a fire coming down that mountain. All the smoke is coming. I can see the flames. Quick to the mountain, everybody. What?
You can see fires of this scale from probably anywhere on the island you could see.
And the smoke. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, the whole story is ridiculous. I mean, like there's stories like, okay, in this story, the guy came out of his own home in his vehicle, like in his, like out of his garage, and he's like, okay, I'm leaving. And there's a bunch of people in his front yard trying to get the fire out in his front yard. They're using sprinklers to try to get the fire out. It's like, no, run for your lives,
Yeah.
But the people just weren't alerted,
Right. They didn't think it was this bad because they weren't told.
They weren't told, right? And they also had a problem with the towers just got burned. The cell towers,
Okay.
got knocked down, and trees are knocking them down, and this whole thing's just rumbling away,
Right.
And so there's loss of cell service and stuff like that. Before we knew, when we were talking about this, I didn't know about the guy saying I do not regret it, but my response was, if I was that guy, I'd have hit the button. And if the button didn't work because, say, a 3 later agency had cut it, I would go and, you know what I mean? Try the next thing. And if the three-letter
Amber Alert is what you said.
right,
Yeah.
I would go offices. They never suspect it. I do Amber Alert. Amber Alert. Tornado fire coming down mountain.
Run to
Description.
ocean.
Yeah. Don't back anything. Flee as quickly as you can. Do you know what I'm saying? To this
Yeah.
direction. I could get a message out. Apparently he just wasn't interested in getting a message out.
Yeah.
You know? So in this case, three-letter agency didn't even have to clip the wires. You know? Just, you know, they got their boy, Herman
Right.
Andaya. They should give him a medal.
Right, for inaction or
Yeah.
following orders, one or the other.
I feel like it's like if I were to do something like, say, I don't have a boat, right? But say I didn't hitch my boat right, and then something happens, and, you know what I mean, I walk away, and then, you know, my boat trailer is just rolling down the hill, and then there's like 3 kids there, and it just runs them over, and they all die. You know what happens?
You're responsible?
Go to jail.
Yeah.
It's manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter,
Totally.
voluntary manslaughter. Maybe I was drunk, and I was like, oh, look at the kids. Brr, let it go. It's voluntary. It's something.
Right.
You let them die. It's something.
Right.
This guy had a job and a duty. And so if you want to know, like, the system, we'll say, we're just going to relate this to a bigger category.
Okay.
Does the system love you and want you to live and do really good?
No.
No. Herman Andaya is the system.
Okay.
After this system comes down, I would love to see not me, the people of Hawaii take justice into their own hands. Not now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Okay. Actually, I'm going to change that. I'm going to say I want this guy to still have due process rights. I'm going to take that back. That was a little bit
Okay.
forward of me, we'll say. I just want them to try him for over 100 negligent homicides.
Sure.
And then maybe make a new law that says anything that's 100 and over on negligent homicides is treason and you get the death penalty. You know,
Okay.
something like that. Even though I'm not a fan of retroactively applying laws, but for this guy, I mean, we can make an exception. Anyways, the story is just gets even stupider. The Maui police shut down the only public road in and out of Lahaina. This is from CNN. That's the name of the article, link in the description below. Hawaii News Now, this is different than the story I told you before. Hawaii News Now reported residents disregarded access rules within Lahaina, leading law enforcement to shut down entry. What do you think about that?
So this is their route to flee from the fire?
Yeah, so one road in and out, they're blocking people from going in and out, but they're
Okay.
really just going in. They're coming in
Towards
with
the fire?
supply. No, the fire's gone.
Oh, okay.
Now it's like, I want to go look for my family. Look, I got a truckload of supplies. I've got water. I've got a couple blankets I could spare. I could just randomly help people. Do you know what I'm saying? I need to look for my gold ring that I lost. Like, whatever you're doing, these people
Yeah.
are all on their way in, right? And they blocked the road. And the reason why, Hawaii News Now reported residents disregarded access rules within Lahaina. Shut that road down. What do you think?
I think that's insane. It's so hard to figure out. Is everyone just inept, or are they doing this on purpose?
What does access rules mean?
See, I guess you were saying that. I was like, are they like driving off the roads, fleeing? But then you said it was after the fire. So yeah, I have no idea what.
Yeah. I feel like this is like, say you're driving down the road and there's a chemical spill down there and it's airborne and there's a bunch of dudes in hazmat suits. Like, imagine the Truman Show when he tries to drive away.
Yeah.
It's that scenario, something like that. You can't go past this line, the police officer says, right? And if you do try to go, they're going to stop you and arrest you because you disregarded access rules. But there's other times when it's like, I'm driving down my dirt road and there's a cop there and he's like, halt, there's a pothole ahead. No, I'm not feeling that.
Yeah.
I understand a toxin in the air. I understand it. I got kids in the car or Truman, you know what I mean? Like, whatever,
Right.
you know? I'm not buying this. And so I want to bring this back to a bigger principle too. Do you know what the bigger principle is?
No.
Back the freaking blue.
Oh,
Back
right,
them.
good call.
They got your back. In every situation we've gone in,
Right.
man, they just got our back. They fly that flag, desecrate the flag with your blue line. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got a couple videos on this. I'm going to put them in the description
Yeah, for
below
sure.
if you're interested in seeing where we stand on this. If you unsubscribe because of this, just go watch those videos and see if I'm wrong. Put a mean comment on those videos.
Yeah.
But I will give credit to like the Orange County deputies in California.
Okay.
They were like, we ain't going within these COVID restrictions. Orange County deputies, we stand alone. Okay, cool. Back the blue. Go ahead. Wave it in Orange County. And then everywhere else in the whole country, Sorry.
Right.
It's not a job that patriots get at this moment.
Correct.
If you were a cop, I was a cop from 1950 to 1970. I saved 8 kids. Good for
Cool,
you.
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm on board. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, this is not it.
Right.
It's kind of a similar thing with the military where like they keep just, maybe that's for the next video, but they keep cleaning out people from the military.
Sure.
You know? And so that they're, do you know what I'm saying? So it's like if you want to become a police officer today, you've got to look at policing and say, do I want to do this? Well,
Right.
I mean, I like shutting down roads. I like shutting down mom and pop shops.
Yep.
I can guard the Walmart in case somebody comes because we got to keep them open.
Don't
you know?
stop riots. I don't have to, don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
That's good.
that would be racist probably.
Yeah.
You know, the white kids out there, you know.
But it's
with
something that
yeah.
makes your job easier because you never have to stop a riot.
Yeah. Or a property theft in California. Or yeah, okay.
Illegal aliens. Yeah, it's none of it.
Oh,
It's-
nice.
It's great.
Yeah, you'd be federal law enforcement. That'd be
Yeah.
great. False flags. You got a penchant for creativity. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Join the FBI.
That are terribly thought out.
We're kind of going off topic.
Yeah.
But basically, I want to, like, when I originally told this to you, you were like, well, why? Why would they
Yeah.
do such a poor response? Because you'd think, like, if I see something going on in my town and I can help a citizen, I don't need to know you. I'll go help you.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Why not? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, hopefully somebody comes and helps me when my car's on fire, my seatbelt. You know what I mean?
Right.
Of course, I got a seatbelt cutter. But anyways, basically, so a conspiracy theory began, and I'm only pitching this as a conspiracy theory, not fact. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because you haven't taught me how to use archive websites yet.
Okay.
Seriously, this is why. So basically, I'm going to put a Telegram link below to remember, quote unquote, Build Back Better, a Telegram post by Efrat Fenigson, whose Twitter profile has a nice Star of David flag.
Nice.
Okay. And in it, you're going to see nothing. You're going to see, well, I put the Telegram up instead of the Twitter because the Twitter just censored it up.
Oh.
All the links gone. So in this one, like you can click on the links here, and in the link you'll see nothing. It's going to take you to a conference. It's September 2023, and it's the government. I forgot to write it on my note sheet, but it's like the government Maui Government Technology Conference or something like that. You know?
Okay.
And this woman with the Star of David flag claimed that at this conference they're going to be discussing the continuation of their idea to make Maui the first smart island city in the whole world.
Oh.
You know?
Okay.
If only something would just come just destroy everything and level it, and then BlackRock could come in and buy it for pennies on the dollar in Vanguard State Street, you know? But basically, since I don't know how to use the archive site, this didn't help me at all because I went to the website of this place and they've got this big thing. You can go there and look at it just for fun. It's got this big thing that says, online people are promoting a conspiracy theory that, but we assure you that we have no desire to, I mean, we didn't start the, you know, it's this whole thing. And it's like, if I could see the archive version, maybe. But I had harassed you so much that night I was doing the research for it. I'm like, I even told him I'm just going to stop sending you messages about tech stuff that I need for. Anyways, so you can research this if you want to. Resources there below. Wouldn't put it past them. Don't have evidence that they are, though.
Gotcha.
You know?
Right.
I don't even care if it's like, there's a certain negligence that reminds me of like a third world negligence, you know?
Okay.
Where it's just like people just give up and they just, let's take the bribes. You know what I'm saying? And then the police are taking the bribes and the cartels are bribing people. If it's that kind of terrible negligence that this terrible Herman Unzai, a terrible person, then you could just say, our country sucks.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I look around me and I don't see people like that.
Right.
You know? And so it just leads me to think that there's something more to this. Now this could be a story like, say we had been doing our channel back when the very first Hunter Biden laptop came out.
Okay.
And we had done a story and said, I think there's more to this. Well, then there would have been a part 2 and a part 3 and a part 4 and a part 5 and a part... We haven't covered that ever. But you know what I mean?
Right.
So if it becomes more, we'll cover it.
Sure.
And we'll reference back to this video and see, like, you got more thoughts that you want to predict it? Just throw it out there just in case?
Well, when you were first telling me the story, I was trying to figure out, like, what is the big picture? This seems like this is not being done on purpose. We don't know if they're creating hurricanes. But, you know, I mean, like the fire, hey, we can reset the island or, you know, whatever. You know, I was trying to figure out the big picture thing. And when we originally talked, you asked, like, guess who's meeting in 2023? And my guess was some environmental thing.
Okay.
That they were going to use this to push new environmental issues. And then you said that it was, you know, about making the smart island and all that. And
It could be about that, yeah.
right. But it's when you see so much so many things that are being done in a not putting people first fashion. Like it feels like it's on purpose. Because like in Western civilization, you naturally help people up when they fall down, and that, like you were saying,
Push emergency alarms. Yeah.
That's your natural instinct, is to take care of your neighbor and that type of thing. And for that not to happen on such a scale, it seems like it's on purpose.
Okay, so something I left out was that the Maui residents are like, they're like, like, I don't know if you know, but like when you're like in a surfing community, it's like they don't want them foreigners in here. Right. Don't matter your race and stuff, but you shouldn't be coming from another state, another country. Like it's locals, you know what I mean?
Right.
And there's like a lot of, on the islands, I haven't been there, but I know people have, and there's a lot of that, where it's like, we don't want the foreigners coming in. And the foreigners are just like Californians, New Yorkers. They're not like, right. I'm not talking about like India people. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about. And basically a lot of the land is owned by the sugarcane companies.
Okay.
And then basically that stopped being a thing where they did sugarcane. So they stopped doing that, but they still own a bunch of land and they could just sell it for a fortune because it's Maui, but they don't want to ruin what they got going. And so then that's even more like, I feel like they could come to the average person and say, hey, you want to sell your house? And you're like, nah, I'm cool. 125% of its value. Okay. You're in. You know what I'm saying? You'll sell it fast. I'm thinking, not you, but just the average person. But I feel like if you won't sell, maybe we have to burn you out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You won't take 135%. You're insane and you're just being rude. That's rude. Arson, you know what I mean? Burn them out. Now we'll give you an offer for 95%.
Or 10% of what's left of your property.
Or 10% of what's left.
Left. Yeah.
Did you hear your insurance just went over? Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They got a change in the records and it says, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know if this is true, but that's what I feel.
Right.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think there's any shenanigans going on to this? It's, right now it seems maybe it's a little thin, that there's something else. It just doesn't feel right to me.
I don't feel like it's super thin.
Okay.
I just feel like there's too much.
Well, for me, it's like, what is the end goal?
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure about that part.
Purpose? There's something going on, but what it is, it's unclear right now. Let us know your thoughts. If you have any other theories or heard anything, we'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Feel free to check out our backlog. We've got a ton of videos at this point, over 100. And I'm sure there's something in there you like. We do current events. We do historical videos, what really happened, and try to discover the facts and figure out how far off our education system taught us, and videos on how to think better and just all types of things. If you're enjoying this content, please check that out, and hopefully we'll see you next time.